Hello everyone, and here is your HR Unscripted. I am Deepika. Today we are diving deep into the topic that and very crucial for the future of our work. Okay, so now I think let's talk about that tips and tricks that what we can do. That is building a culture of empathy in the workplace. Okay, so now I think let's talk about that tips and tricks that what we can do to be to create a culture of empathy in a company, and that all that what we did at the time, how we build in a culture. So first, I would like to talk about that regular check-in. So I remember my time. Regular checking means that it's not about every 1 hour that you're going and saying, hey, how are you, you're not feeling tired, you're not, no, it's not like that. So basically it's also being very natural. So it's at the time of the COVID, I started with, because in the COVID we lost a lot of lives, and in our employee side also that we do loss. So what are the things that we practice over there is that asking them that how are you feeling, how is there anything that bothering you, are you feeling fine, is your family member are doing okay, do you need any help from us, and stuff like that. Because that's a very simple thing. Let's suppose if I'm in the morning, I'm having a meeting, and I'll start, okay, today's agenda is this, let's do this and let's do that. But what if we start our meeting is that, hey, how are you, is there anything that you'd like to share that happened to you, are you happy today, are you sad today, anything that are bothering you. So these are the regular and very small check-ins that you can create with your employee, and where you build a relationship too, because you are caring about your people feelings. That's how you can do the regular checking. Then the second thing that I want to talk about is that we always, let's suppose there are projects deadlines, always we do have, right? So instead of saying, like, let's suppose if a person is not tracking the deadline, so we should be, instead of saying that why you didn't do this or why this happened, why don't we try to understand the problem. When, let's suppose, in our organization we never will that, oh, why you didn't do it, oh, it's very simple, why you didn't do this. But I think the very lying under question is that you need to, if you are building an empathy culture, you should be, is there any problem going on with you, anything that I can help you with, do you know this, how to do it, or anything. So these are the things that what you create a difference over there. And also, let's suppose if and the third trick that I want to share is that make them comfortable in sharing their problem. Let's suppose if I'm joining the company, and definitely I don't know that what type of people I'm going to work with. What if they are a bossy type, what if they are what if they're a very friendly type, I don't know about you. So let's suppose somebody is coming and joining to your team, I think making them comfortable in sharing their problems is one of the key elements that one should have. So so like uh, so like let's suppose that starting, or let's suppose even if you're doing it from today, you should be start like sharing that what are some of the words that make them feel comfortable in sharing your problem. Because giving, sometimes we are out of our sharing like a problems or solution, sorry. So we are out of a solution. So let's suppose you're seeing that this person is struggling, this person is not working, so why don't we make them comfortable? Okay, you don't know this, and they can come and openly share their problems with them. So you need to create those things with your people, then they will be very comfortable in sharing your the problems with you. And then the fourth thing is that be flexible with your schedule. So let's suppose that it's like creating a culture that's a very strict 9 to 5 job, and you have 10 tasks to do today and you are doing it. So I think that's called the culture where people are micromanaging themselves. But why not we create a culture where we are very flexible with the schedule style? Let's suppose the deadline is 24 and one of the team member, I'm not talking about every time you miss the deadline, definitely that's not going to work for an organization. But what you can do is that be flexible with the schedule. Let's suppose that 21st is the deadline and the person has not done it. You can go and check with them that why it's not happened, and be flexible in all the terms. Okay, you're not able to do it together. Is there anything that you're bothering you? Is there? So that's all the conversation that you can have, and build. Like, let's suppose if I have a something like a personal meeting, so what you can do is that share with your team that today I'll be not present from this time to this time. Can I give you by this time, because I have a personal thing to do and I'm not available. I do have like this. So on that, be flexible with schedule. So what I basically what we prefer in Nirogam is that we have created a very flexible schedule of the time. Let's suppose we are having 8 hours to work. So what one can take is that can work 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and like those stuff. They need to complete their work on the time. That's it. So this is how you can create a flexibility on the deadlines. Let's suppose some deadlines. But I think the most important thing in being empathic is, even if you are being flexible with your schedule, the communication. You should be communicating to your team member that definitely that I do have some stuff to do. I might not do it. I have this thing to do. So I think communication really plays an important role over here. So we do have a certain things. Let's suppose I do have a personal work. So what I can do, I apply a shorter work over here and just go and finish those all work and come back and do my work, submit it to. So if it's not always about making a flexible schedule, but it is always about that how you are creating those schedule and managing those schedules, right? So these are the 4 tricks that you can do. Be flexible with schedule and be communicative about it. Then the 5th is that how to create empathy is that gratitude wall. We do this activity sessions. We write about people that how do feel about you, and giving them a gratitude for a small task. Even let's suppose if my colleague Vidhi, she always helped me with the Excel formula. So I'm very grateful for her to give me the formula. Like I'm very grateful that you have given me help me with that formulas, and very small thing that you can do. So you can always have your gratitude wall in your organization where you are putting your feelings about that and what are you grateful for with your people. So that will also a very good exercise, practical exercises that you can do. Then the 6th trick will be that be always there for your team. Like let's suppose something some emergency happened in your family, so I think you create your backups plan already. Like let's suppose if I'm working on a task and that's I'm responsible for, and I got stuck in something emergency, so always ask your team, and for those that's happened, you need to always be there for your team. Like if emergency, what if emergency happened at your end, so there should be always create that relationship that when you are not able to complete it, somebody from your team can take your and ownership of your task and do it. That is what we call the shared responsibility, and be available for your team member. That is how you can also do it. Then the 7th thing is that offer support, even if it's just like lending your ear to it. So I think building a culture of empathy isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that requires consistent effort and commitment. But the results are worth it, definitely. A more engaged, productive, and innovative workplace. And I think we need to remember that this is the age of AI and automation, and our ability to empathize become not just a nice to have, but a very critical skill that set us apart and drive our success. So I encourage you to start implementing these practices in your workplace. And I believe you need to always remember that the change starts with you. And so I would love to hear about your experience with empathy in the workplace. What strategies have worked for you? What challenges have you faced? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going on. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to HR Unscripted for more insights on creating better workplace. Until next time, take care and stay empathetic. Here, signing off, your HRM. Thank you.